I'm trying to cut down.
This is really impressive. Wow. And actually, I was hoping that you would let's bring it next week. It's really a nice, it's the nicest one I've had. Oh, okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I didn't have to twist it. I saw a couple times. So, okay, maybe we started. Next week, and I could love for you to have this one is really nice one. Yeah, so I'll bring it for you next week. No. That's it. Thank you. Okay, that's good. Sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't know this is
I got my new sleeve.
Actually, could I hand me that? I can take that. Put it in the bag. Great. Very well.
Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our Shotsuki Service for the month of June. I am Reverend Dennis Fujimoto, and I'll serve as your chairperson for today. So it's always nice, very special to have our Shotsuki service, and for all our members, and particularly for the Shotsuki families, we're able to acknowledge their impact upon our lives, and we chant the sutras on their behalf. And so it's always a special time to see the connections that we have in our families, and I don't get tired of talking about the Shotsuki, very special part of our Shin Buddhist tradition. And sometimes we take turns. Sometimes it's our family's turn, and sometimes it's the next family's turn. And for those of us, when it's not our turn, we're still able to support the families that are observing the Shotsuki, and at the same time it becomes another family service for us, where we have this opportunity to chant together and to listen to the Dharma teachings. So I will read the Shotsuki names for the month of June, and then please come up to offer incense during the reading of the names. And after that, we will have our sutra chanting. These are the Shotsuki names: Abe, Alice; Abe, Yutaka; Akiyama, Hisao; Akiyama, Kazuji; Baba, Moshiro; Aidman, Kazuko; Enomoto, Chie; Ferguson, Zachary; Fudena, Kiichi; Hara, Ronald; Hatakeda, Shigeo; Hayashiyama, Tokuhei; Hitomi, Mitsuko; Hitomi, Toichi; Ikeda, Minoru; Ishihara, Masao; Ishikawa, Hiroshi; Imura, Yone; Inoue, Yoshiharu; Iwahashi, Tatsujiro; Kamiya, Iwami; Kato, Chiyo; Kato, Yoshiko; Kawahara, Kyoko; Kimura, Shizuko; Koga, Infant Kenichi; Kuge, Infant Ikuo; Kusada, Midori; Maruyama, Infant Kiyomi; Maeda, Infant Goro; Minami, Fuji; Nakagawara, Mitsuyo; Nakamura, Oko; Nakata, Alice; Nakayama, Takeshi; Narahara, Tomiko; Natsuhara, Mosaburo; Nuyen, Tandoi; Ninomiya, Infant Hisae; Nose, Tozo; Obata, Hatsuye; Okada, Masa; Okamoto, Infant Lin; Ozeki, Hatsuyo; Saito, Kaori; Sasaki, Sae; Shimada, Matsu; Shintani, Kiyo; Shiota, Kame; Shiota, Reiko; Shiota, Shigeo; Shiozaki, Risuke; Shiroishi, 宗太郎、末安、松太郎、末安、滝尾、高橋、照家、高野、安太郎、高尾、明子、寺地、菊松、寺尾、静、豊田、作太郎、梅根、三輪、牛島、Pearl、Wold、Naomi、Yamamoto、Infant、Sarasati、Yonenaka、Infant、Tomi、Yoshimura、Toyomi、Tio、These are the Shotsuki names for the month of June. If there are additions or corrections, please notify the office. Now we'll have Sutra chanting, Sambujo on page 2425, and this will be followed by the reading of the Hyobyakumon, the main sutra, Amida Kyo on page 103. Namanda, 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 namanda. Do Yogyakumon. Today, on this occasion of the Shotsuki Service for the month of June, members of our temple families have reverently come before Alameda Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Alameda, we reaffirm the three homages. Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Satsu Amida Kyo Yoze Gamon Shiji Bunzai Share Koku Kiju Kiko Dokuon Yodai Biku Shu Senni Yaku Goju Ninku Kaize Yayara Shu Shochi Shiki Choro Shari O Maka Moken Men Maka Kasho Maka Kasen Men Maka Kuchi Yari Hata Shuri Anda Gananda Ananda Nagora Yomo Nadai Minzuru Arada Karudai Maka Boina Akura Anurura Nozeto Shodai Deshi Yosho Mosa Makasa Monju Shiri Oji Aita Mosa Endaka Daigosa Joshoji Gosa Yoyo Deto Shodai Gosa Yushakulai Kaninto Uryo Shoten Daishuku Iki Bungo Choro Shari Ho Yuze Sai Ho Kajuman Dokubunno Usekai Yoan Gokuraku Bodo Ubunbo Amida Kongen Sai Seppo Shari Ho Idoga Koyoi Gokuraku Bokoku Shujo Shuku Tanju Shoraku Koyo Gokuraku Shari Ho Gokura Kodo Shiju Ranju Shiju Ramo Shiju Goju Kaize Shiho Shuso Inyo Seko Hiko Kuno Wan Gokuraku Shari Ho Gokura Gokudo Ushipo Chiyaku Dokusui Juman Goju Chitai Junni Konsha Mujin Chien Kaido Kongonduri Hari Gojo Chokuro Kaku Yakui Kongonduri Hari Shako Shanshu Meno Rigon Chikishi Chichurenge Dainyo Shari Shoshiki Shoko Moshiki Yoko Shakushiki Shako Shakushiki Shako Kimyoko Ketsu Shari Gokura Gokuro Joju Nyose Uroku Shogon Shari Ho Ibu Gokudo Josa Tenkaku Konnichi Chuya Rokuji Yo Mandara Ke Goku
修上上位昇誕百位英国長修行家無用他法十万六分即位直次元と本国本直行業者利法国ら国土上重量税空力諸本物資者利法利国上部集中奇妙座敷市長学校空着法務者利家領民が不病市長税商州長長や六次水和令和東温連長高官法力七宝大文八正道文行政情報行動修上音声音に大実念仏念法念祖者利法上物理主超実税裁法少々小医者が異部国の無三幕主者利法公部国の小無三幕同士病他教部実税小修長大聖阿弥陀仏欲量法音全流円形小差者利法異部国の異部水道小法法中有法ラモ水利量医療百戦中学同時空差門税四者大事念上念仏念法念生死心者利法大部国土長寿量税空六小言
Please rise for our first kata in the purple book, Namo Amida Butsu, on page 174. And then remain standing for the Jodo Shinshu Creed, number 1, on page 12.
Away.
Nichiu Creed on page 12, number 1. Entrusting the vow of the Buddha and reciting the sacred name, I shall proceed through the journey of life with strength and joy, revering the light of the Buddha, reflecting upon my imperfect self. I shall strive to live a life of gratitude, following the teachings of the Buddha, discerning the right path. I shall spread the true Dharma, rejoicing in the compassion of the Buddha, respecting and aiding one another. I shall do my best to work towards the welfare of society. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Please be seated. Now we'll have our Dharma message. Today I thought I'd talk about obstructions. So please listen. Join me in Gassho. So read this wasan by Shindan Shonin. Obstructions of karmic evil turn into virtues. It is like the relation of ice and water. The more the ice, the more the water. The more the obstructions, the more the virtues. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, so obstructions. It mentions the karmic evils. So they're talking about the 3 poisons: greed, anger, and ignorance. And we are karmically connected to these 3 poisons. Because we have this human existence in our human bodies, we have attachments to so many things, and these are obstructions created by our karmic connections, okay? And then these obstructions become virtues. We don't try to make them virtues, but they become on their own, okay? And so this is often described as a relation between ice and water. Okay, so the more the ice, the more the water. So if you have a lot of obstructions, a lot of blind passions, then you'll have all the more water when it changes into virtues. And so this is kind of describing, Shindan Shonin wrote a number of wasan, and they describe the process of our Nembutsu path and how this works for us, okay? So, as we practice our Nembutsu, we arrive at a different way of seeing, a different perspective, change in perspective. So, it changes from approaching our lives surrounded by the 3 poisons, greed, anger, and ignorance, and this is changed to an awakened perspective, okay? So again, the ice changes to water. Greed becomes generosity. Indulgence becomes discipline and focus. Anger becomes patience. Laziness becomes dedication. Distraction becomes concentration, mindfulness. And delusion, wrong thinking, becomes wisdom. Okay? So last month, just before our Shotsuki service for May, Howard and Jane, I told them, Sherman and I have a funeral to go to in Boise, so we quickly went up there Friday morning and drove up to Boise. It's like a 10-hour drive, and we had the funeral of Sherman's relative, and so after the funeral and the reception on Saturday, we drove back and got to Alameda early Sunday morning, and so that was the beginning of my Shotsuki Sunday last month. And so going up there, we all know we had such a winter, very strong storms and everything coming in, so this is our first time to go up through the pass. We go through the Reno area, and so looking at the snow, and the snow is still there piled up, and when they have the snow removers come through, it scrapes it and leaves the pile next to the highway, and you can see this storm, because there's a pile of dust on top, and you see the brown line, then more white and a brown line, more white and a brown line, and it's still stacked up there. So even though we've had warmer summer type of weather here, the snow is still piled up there a month ago. And wow, it's lasting a long time. So my mother has a cabin, small cabin in South Lake Tahoe. We have not been able to get there yet. So through all the winter, kind of dreading, the snow piles up and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And so snow's there, then it rained. So the snow holds the rain, then it changes to ice, then it snows some more, rains, and it changes to ice, and it becomes real heavy. And some buildings can even collapse, right? So we have no idea what's going on up there at Lake Tahoe. So coming back from the funeral, not only is the snow sitting on the road, it's snowing. It's kind of like a blizzard condition. We're going over the pass by Reno and Truckee, and it's snowing heavily, right? And these truckers, they don't care. They're sitting high and they're buzzing through, and it's kind of scary. The windy road, and it's dark, and you're already tired from 8 hours of driving, So trying to get through there, and when you finally get down, past Ikedas and down into the foothills, it's kind of like, whew, got past that, and it's just another hour and a half more, and we get to the Bay Area. But through that little adventure, kind of getting through snow and ice and reminding me of these types of wasan and saying that Shindam had, and still even more worried about the place at South Lake Tahoe. Earlier this week, I had a plan to go with my son to go, and because of those conditions, we had the driveway cleared, but they don't clear the deck. So they could clear the driveway, and we wouldn't even have access to, if we went there, to get in the front door or to get into the garage. So to do the work I need to do, I have to bring my own tools, right? Our own shovels. I have plenty of tools in the garage, but I can't even get in there, probably. I have no idea what to expect, right? But getting ready for that, it says you might have thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday. So I call my son, I don't know if we want to go. I don't want to go all that way on a maybe, and we might not be able to work. And we don't want to be working with big metal tools in our hands in a thunderstorm, right? Getting hit by lightning, trying to clear the roof or something like this. So we canceled that plan and just said, never mind, we'll focus on preparing for this week. And we had a lot going on here as well anyway. So all these things kind of reminding me of the ice and water, okay? So I have some examples for us. Greed might show itself as we have our possessions. It might be my car, a brand new car that I have, my house, my shoes. I have brand new running shoes or certain types of shoes that everyone wants, and I get possessive of these types of things. So these are things that are possessions that we get maybe greedy and clingy and attached to, okay? Or maybe in terms of the time that I have. I only have so much time. I'd like to help more for the sale, but I have to get ready, spend time at the national board meeting that's going on at the same time. Got to get ready for my Dharma message, so I have assignments to get done. Maybe I need to meet my friends. Maybe I want to take my vacation. So we get clingy to our time, the time we have. Okay? Or maybe attention. Maybe we are getting some acknowledgement. Younger ones might be coming up to a graduation. Maybe there's a promotion at our job or something like that. Maybe I'm getting a different title. And so these kind of attention. So these can all be items of greed potentially. Okay? So when we don't have enough, then we get all the more clingy. And when we change our perspective, we can see that we have plenty. Food, for example, there's plenty. Then we shift from being attached and clingy, greedy, to transform, to maybe more generosity. Sure, I can share this, I can share that. I have things that I have plenty of, and it's very easy to share. So even when we come up to Oshoko, this is kind of a practice to take the pinch of incense, drop it into the burning embers. And so if those were, instead of incense, $100 bills, and they were mine, maybe I wouldn't so freely throw them into the burning embers, right? But this practice, it's like crack this shell, step beyond myself, give to all others. Right? So another example, I just saw recently on TV, sometimes we have ads, advertisements, all you can eat something, right? House of pancakes, all you can eat pancakes. You see that once in a while. Shrimp, popcorn shrimp, all you can eat. Or 2-for-1 happy hour, and you get 2 drinks for the price of 1. And so you go there at a certain time, you hear these ads, and you go, oh boy. And you think about, oh, I can eat 12 pancakes or something like this. We just had Mother's Day pancakes. I could have eaten 12 pancakes. Maybe afterwards, I think, oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea. And hopefully that thought comes to mind before we eat all 12 pancakes. And maybe I don't need 12, I'll eat 2 or 3. That should be enough, okay? So, again, an example. The ice of indulgence turns to become the water of discipline or focus, okay? It doesn't take a lot to learn it. It kind of changes on its own as we come to seeing more than being attached in and clingy to something. Another example of ice, anger can shift to become the water of patience or compassion, okay? Sometimes you see people around you and maybe they do something that annoys you. Or maybe they don't do something and that annoys you, right? So we have these both things that some bazaar time, getting ready for the sale. Why did they do that? I just set it up like this, and they're changing it like this, right? And we come to these kind of occasions, right? One of my not so favorites is I find quite often anger coming to me at traffic lights, right? Come to the stop and waiting patiently, the light changes and the car in front of you doesn't move. Maybe he doesn't see the sign that says it's okay to turn left after, even though there's a red light, after you stop, you can turn left. Or maybe you can see they're fiddling with their phone, texting something or reading directions, and maybe you get this sense of anger, right? I come to that a lot. But hopefully you don't cling to that, and the ice of anger shifts to patience, maybe compassion, maybe they are distracted with something. The ice of laziness can shift to become the water of dedication. Okay, maybe we have a young one in our family. They like to play video games, so they're playing video games all the time, every day, way too much. Why don't you go outside? Okay, and they just keep playing. But maybe some of their friends change things. Why don't we play some soccer or basketball or judo? Let's take up judo or something like this. And so they decide to play. They decide to get into it and to get better at this, to improve and to learn what it takes to be a good team member, soccer player, judoka. So they choose to try harder. So they shift from being lazy to being more dedicated, more focused. And this happens as we shift our attention. Another example, okay, a couple more. The ice of distraction shifts to become the water of concentration or mindfulness. Okay, we come to service. It's a special service. So Sensei says we're going to chant the Shoshinge instead of the Juseige, and then we're thinking, oh no, not that one. You know, our eyes glaze over and we start looking around, right? But when we look around, we get time even goes slower. Finally, our mind shifts. We get into it. Our thoughts settle a little bit. Finally, we start to settle. All our voices become one voice, and we feel this. We feel it in our bodies. So this ice of distraction becomes the water of mindfulness. So the chanting helps us to shift our perspective, to have this mindful, meditative mind. Okay? And finally, sometimes we think we know something, so we're attached to our own knowledge. We don't want to take the time to listen to someone else's perspective because we think we already know something. We don't have the time, we don't have the space or the patience to listen to something else because we think we know enough. Right? And so this is attachment to our own knowledge. So this is kind of delusion that we think we know enough and that we get smug in our own perspective. Okay, so this is another example of ice. Okay, we're not able to take in anymore because we're already full of ourselves. So if we can see that we're not always right, we're not always so smart, then we allow ourselves to listen. What is this person saying? What is this lesson about? What is this Dharma Talk about? And then wisdom enters. So the ice of delusion shifts to become the water of wisdom. So this Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, the call of the infinite, beyond ourselves, allowing us to open from this entrapment of ice, hardened ice, shifting to become the warm water of wisdom. Okay. The ice of greed changes into the water of generosity. The ice of anger changes into the water of patience. The ice of delusion changes into the water of wisdom. The awakening through the Nembutsu is received, not achieved. It's not accomplished, received. Okay. So let me read this Wasan one more time. Please join me in Gassho. Obstructions of karmic evil turn into virtues. It is like the relation of ice and water. The more the ice, the more the water. The more the obstructions, the more the virtues. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, thank you very much for letting me share this Dharma message. Next, we're going to have our second Gatha, Ondok-san, on page 220. Please rise. Please be seated. Okay, some acknowledgements. I'd like to thank everyone who assisted to prepare for this service. Flowers have been prepared and all the video equipment was gotten ready. We have fruits offerings and rice offerings. We have volunteers who help to welcome people and to pass out the books, and Lenny playing the organ and accompanying our gathas. And so we'd like to thank everyone who helped and all of you who are here today for this service. Let's see, what else do we have? Are there any newcomers here today? Just people who haven't been here for a while? Okay, any announcements? Okay, next Sunday we're going to have a family service and Dharma school as well, and it's their kind of like graduation promotion service, and we'll all be ending our school year and preparing for next grade to come up. So that's always a special time for the younger ones, and we, the older ones, get to have even more time with our children and our families. Let's see, what else do we have? That is the final service for June. As the final 2 Sundays, we're going to have bazaar preparation on the 3rd Sunday, and then our bazaar are going to be on the final Sunday. Is that correct? Yes. So the Saturdays, there's preparation going on, and the actual event will be the bazaar, June 25th. Any other announcements? I'd like to take a poll today. There's an idea that has been presented, and at a previous temple, we used to use, like Shotsuki is the 1st Sunday of each month, and on the last Sunday of each month, sometimes we have things going on, or there's, I should say the 4th Sunday, because the 5th there's no service. The 4th Sunday is Ask Reverend Dennis, but at another temple we had a birthday Sunday. So people would come up, if you have a birthday on that month, and come up and put however many pennies into the offering box. So if you're 97 years old, it's like ka-dum, 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 and it's fun. So maybe we can have this as something that we add here. It's kind of fun, and we get to acknowledge people and know whose birthday it is that month, and we do have quite a few elders, so it might take some time, but yeah. Tell me if you think it's a good idea, and it's hard to just ask the board every single time, right? So they shouldn't get to make all the decisions. So if you like that, let me know, all right? Okay, anything else? I think we're okay. So thank you for those who attended to the YouTube service. It's always nice of you to join us. Let me know if you're viewing this on YouTube, and if you send a notice, then I know you're there. And if I don't get no notice, then I know it's only Peggy that's watching me. So, okay, so why don't we come up and offer incense? The incense is still burning. Okay, so let's conclude with Gassho one last time. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Hai, dozo.
Tea is outside. If you want to go have a cup of tea or whatever, we're doing it outside because of using the kite.